Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Destiny Awaits. I am Andrea John, your tour guide on this journey we call life, and I am here to help you step into your destiny because you know what? Your destiny awaits. If you'll notice, this is the first episode, but there are tons of episodes already available because we used to be called The Journey. But I'm walking into this new season and I really want to help people find their destiny, find their calling, walk in their purpose. So that's why I'm here. So, on your spare time while you're driving, cleaning the house, definitely check out some of the older episodes because there's a lot of great content on there. Not only do I share my story, but you're going to hear stories from tons of people who share wealth of information, knowledge, and revelation that'll help you step into your destiny. So, while this is our first episode of this new season, you'll find lots of content that'll help you step into your destiny. For those of you who follow me, you know that in 2023, I was diagnosed with cancer and I had to go through surgery and chemo. And I'm coming out on the other side and super excited for the future. And despite all of that, despite all the things that I've been going through the last few years, I have been living my destiny. I have been living in purpose. I have been living the abundant life Jesus promised, even though the trials and tribulations of life are existing. And I want to help you live that way too, because it has completely changed my life. The quality of my life before 2016 to now is drastically different. I've shared my story before, but in case you don't know, in 2016, I had an encounter with God in my kitchen that radically changed my life. It was just a few moments, but it felt like a lifetime of revelation of God's love that really did change everything for me. And even though in that moment the circumstances didn't change, my life changed. And I also realized that I didn't know God as well as I thought I did, even though I grew up in church and grew up a Christian. And ever since then, I've been on this journey just discovering God, discovering who He is, getting to know Him intimately, getting to know Him better. And with that, my quality of life has drastically improved. I mean, obviously, there are circumstances in my life that could be better, things that I want to get better at, practical things, strategic things. But in general, I am very, very content with my life and really feel like I'm living in God's purpose and I'm growing each and every day. And I want you to have that too. As a leader of a ministry, I have counseled and spoken to so many people. And there's so much frustration out there with finding purpose, figuring out what I'm called for, what's my gifts, how can I serve? You know, a lot of times people go to church and it's so saturated with volunteers and leaders because so many people are just good-hearted and they want to serve. And it leaves a lot of people who aren't maybe that driven to lead feeling like they don't really know what their purpose is, feeling a little empty, feeling a little lost. I've definitely been there and I've learned practical ways and strategies that have helped me find my purpose, have a vision, and walk in my destiny. And I really want to share that with you. I'm currently writing my next book called Destiny Awaits as I prepare for a ladies' retreat and conferences that I have coming up. And in doing so, I have really if doven's even a word, I've dived into studying about purpose and how important purpose is in our lives because it really sets the direction that we walk in and that we go into. And a lot of times, people who feel lost, who feel like they don't know what their calling is or what their gift is or what they're supposed to be doing. It really is just a lack of purpose. But one thing that I firmly believe is that we all know what our purpose is. It is deeply embedded into ourselves. We just have to dig it out and we have to find it. As I researched for these conferences and books, one of the things I realized when it comes to this topic of purpose is within Christian resources, a lot of what we're guided to do is about prayer, asking God, and really just spending time journaling and praying and things like that. And there is a lot of benefit to that. I'm a huge writer. I like to journal myself. I like questions, I like prompts, just to think through things. I do think there's a lot of value in it. And obviously, I'm a big prayer person. I'm what I would consider an intercessor and do know and firmly believe in the power of prayer. But I don't know about you. Sometimes when it comes to these types of things, you pray and you ask God and you still feel lost. And you may have been seeking this for months, maybe even years, asking God what your calling is and what your purpose is, and you just can't touch it. You just can't pinpoint what it is. You feel like there's something missing. And that's because a lot of the Christian resources, at least the ones that I've found, don't really have practical steps and strategies that help dig that purpose out of you. They don't really help you find it. And I really believe that God has placed it in you already and that it's already there. You just need help pulling it out. So, guys, that's what this podcast is about. That's what my book's about. That's what my retreats and conferences are going to be about. It's going to be helping you find your identity, your purpose, and walk in your destiny because you deserve that. God has destined you for something greater. Do you feel that? Do you feel that you're called for something greater? What's standing in your way? I want you to tell yourself right now, what is standing in the way between you and your destiny? Authenticity and vulnerability are so key. Throughout this podcast, as we have episodes, one of the things you're going to hear me talk about a lot is being vulnerable and being authentic. We need to be honest with ourselves as we explore these topics, as we talk about what our calling is, what our purpose is, what our faith is, what do we believe about God, what do we believe about ourselves, what do we believe about the Bible. We're going to talk about all these things because all of these topics are essential to helping us walk in our destiny. But we must be honest with ourselves. Vulnerability and authenticity is key. So I ask you, what is standing between you and your destiny? It doesn't matter if you think it's the right answer. It doesn't matter if it's politically correct or the right the right Christian answer. Doesn't matter if you think God's going to be okay with your answer or you're okay with your answer or someone else would be okay. Doesn't matter if you're a pastor or a leader or, you know, you have a business and you're supposed to know. Doesn't matter. Whatever that answer is, I want you to tell it to yourself. What stands between you and your destiny? Because I guarantee you, we're going to tackle that. And at some point, you're going to find that the obstacle will be removed. So, welcome to this first episode where we start this new journey and you're going to step into your destiny. Over the course of episodes, I don't know how often I'm going to record. I am going to keep this voice only. I used to do video, but just because of my schedule, my time commitment, and my desire to bring consistent content, I'm going to keep this to voice only. So hopefully that's something that you can follow along with. Along the course of this podcast, we'll talk about lots of different topics. I'm not going to take anything off the table. That's where I've failed in the past. I tried to be consistent with my topics, with my themes, and then there were things I wanted to talk to you about, and I didn't feel like it was what I committed to, so then I didn't do it. But this is going to be different. We're on a journey together. And when it comes to finding who you are, talking about God, finding your purpose, walking in your destiny, there is no topic off limits because everything is valid. There's so many things about our life that matter, that are important to us, that to remove them from this conversation is a disservice to all of us. So, one of the commitments that I make to you is that no topic is going to be off the table. We will talk about it all. So, if there's something that you want to talk about, definitely send it over. The other commitment I make to you is that I will be vulnerable and authentic. I will be my true self with you and be completely honest about whatever it is that I talk about. I'll share my struggles, I'll share my victories, and I'll be very honest, even in my opinions. And when it is an opinion, I will make sure that I tell you it's an opinion and not fact, because that matters to me. And my other commitment is to bring you more consistent episodes. I do want to interact with you. So definitely go and follow me on social media. You can go to my website, andreajohn.com, connect with me there. And I look forward to being on this journey with you. I'm very excited about it. Did not plan this episode. I've been planning to record and to restart the podcast, but I went through my last chemo. My last chemo session was last week, so it's been a little rough, but I'm on the way out and I didn't want to wait because you know what? Sometimes massive action is needed when we have goals and when we want to live out our purpose. So, again, those are things that we will definitely talk about. So, I'm excited to go on this journey with you. I'm excited for what the future holds. Definitely look out for more episodes. And don't forget to go and check out some of our previous episodes because I guarantee you'll find something in there that'll be a treasure to you. Until next time.